1:06 left on the clock. Missiles down by 1. Just a reminder, this game brought to you by Miller Lite. When you've got the great taste of an ice-cold Miller Lite, life is good. Smith inbounds to Waitman through the paint. Tomahawk jam. Yes!
Will the Americans get their kicks, or will Irish eyes be smiling? The U.S. national soccer team takes the field against Ireland next Sunday on ABC Sports.
ABC Sports coverage of the Miller 200. Brought to you by Mobil Motor Oil. At Mobil, we've been changing oil for over 125 years. Honda, who offers an impressive family of cars, sport utility vehicles, and minivans. John Deere, makers of quality lawn and grounds care equipment. Nothing runs like a Deere. And Bosch Platinum, the ultimate spark plug.
Second yellow of the day, the pew down on the Milwaukee Mile, a perfect oval from the Honda Helicam. As we now have 141 laps into the record book. I'll tell you what, this place always produces a great show, and it's doing it once again, Jackaroo.
Well, indeed it is, and there's a lot of action on pit road as well. Let's update you. You know that push condition that was built in, so to speak, on Emerson Fittipaldi's car? Well, believe it or not, they just have finally gotten that push out. They made a wing adjustment last previous pit stop. When they came in, Rick Reineman and crew asked Demo, said don't make any changes. They changed the tires. They said the car's gone to neutral. They feel real good about it. Meanwhile, Michael Andretti's teammate, Christian Fittipaldi, the car, according to Christian, has a real bad vibration. They put a half turn of wing in the front wing for Christian. Now, one other point to remember, gentlemen, we're keeping you abreast of who's got optional Goodyears, who's got the regular Goodyears. Michael Andretti is running the optional Goodyear, and he has shown superior tire wear today. Let's go to Gary.
Remember what Greg Moore did on the big oval down at Miami to start the season when he was passing everybody late in the race? Then remember what he did at Nazareth when he got a second place finish on the mile there? Keep in mind, he may be now in position to do it again, because according to Tony Brunetti and this team, this yellow is exactly what they needed. They had struggled early. He'd come from deep in the pack. Now he's in position to challenge Greg Moore as they'll go to that lineup. I think it's going to be 4th or 5th on the lead lap and a chance to attack the challengers. Good position for the rookie driver. Paul?
5th on the lead lap, the last one on the lead lap. It's going to be a long cleanup here. They've still got quite a bit of debris and oil out on the racetrack, but Raul is okay. We'll be back.
This Ford Fact is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealers. Have you driven a Ford lately? During an IndyCar pit stop of 14 seconds, it only takes about 10 of those seconds to change all 4 tires. And although there's only one wheel nut that holds on each of those tires, it's very rare that one of these wheel nuts would come off. Well, that's because they're self-locking. As you spin on this wheel nut, you'll notice that there's a little latch that just popped up that now prevents this from coming off. Only with a special socket now will this wheel nut come off the car. Now, not only are they self-locking, but they tend to be self-tightening. And that is, this is a standard thread on the left-hand side of the car. But on the other side of the car, it's completely opposite. The theory is that as the car accelerates, it will have a tendency to tighten those wheel nuts. But that causes a problem for the mechanics. How do you remember which way to turn the wheel nuts? Because they're opposite on opposite sides of the car. They have a nice catch key phrase. To put the wheel nuts back on, you spin them always to the back of the car.
The new Ford Taurus has people talking. Car and Driver noted it's wider, longer, and taller than before. Edward Armand says,
I'm amazed at its size. It's actually bigger than it looks.
Automobile Magazine calls it maybe the best family car ever made. And Maria Stylo adds,
I love it. I've never gotten so many compliments.
The new Ford Taurus.
I'm almost jealous of my car.
Hailed by critics and owners alike, starting at $18,545.
This is the Texaco Havoline stock car. And this is the Texaco Havoline Indy car. And while these cars run on special fuels, we figured it was still a good way to remind you that Texaco Clean System 3 gasolines give your car unsurpassed performance. And Texaco Haviland Formula 3 motor oil and Texaco antifreeze coolants provide complete protection. But if we really wanted you to remember our name, maybe we should have sponsored something slower.
Add more life to your car. Take it to the store.
I'm Brad Musburger at the Memorial, sponsored by Dean Witter. Tom Watson is authoring a remarkable story. This was yesterday, par 417. And with that, Watson takes a one-shot lead into the final round. He's paired with Ernie Els. It's next on ABC.
Still under yellow on the Milwaukee Mile. The next stop on the IndyCar circuit is at Belle Isle Park in Detroit, as Robbie Gordon defends his title at the ITT Automotive Detroit Grand Prix. Coverage begins Saturday with qualifying on ESPN2, and then next Sunday at 1 Eastern, 12 Central and Pacific, we'll have the race right here on ABC Sports. So we're still under yellow from that impact with the wall with Raul Boisel. He's okay, but when you back the gearbox in like that, no doubt crack it open, you've got a lot of real thick, heavy oil on the racetrack, and they want to get that up. In today's stories, well, who's moving up? Greg Moore started 19th. He's now on the lead lap in 5th. Bobby Rahal started 13th. He is now in 7th, and Al Unser Jr. started in 11th. Led for a while, now sits in 2nd place. The tire wars, well, we're seeing a lot going on. Changing back and forth on whose compound is going to work well, and that is still a story running. Rule changes, we're about to find out how this idea of lining up to the inside works. I think it's a terrific idea. It'll probably take the IndyCar teams a couple of times to really get used to it. And then what about the package? Well, the package belongs to the Zanardi, Vassar, and Parker Johnstone. Zanardi started 7th, now 13th. Vassar started 14th, now 9th, and Parker Johnstone started 19th, now 17th. So maybe the package is now beginning to see some equity.
Well, there you can see what we've been talking about, the groove and everything, the shiny part down to the right of your screen, and all the marbles, the gray area. See everything gray up above that. You get up in there, and it's just like all of a sudden hitting ice and sliding on anything. They've been gradually moving that groove up toward the other place so they can run 2 abreast and sometimes 2.5. But you see the blower coming through there with the flashing lights on the truck, trying to clean all the debris off the track. But that groove is where they want to stay, in that nice clean part.
All right, the running order now under this caution period has Michael Andretti at the top, followed by Little Al, Emerson Fittipaldi, Paul Tracy, and Greg Moore. Those 5 should line up on the inside when they come back to green. The outside line, the rest of the race, Christian Fittipaldi, Ray Hall, Ribeiro, Vassar, Pruitt, Fernandez, Jill DeFerrin, Alex Zanardi, Brian Herta, Mark Blundell, Gugelman, Johnstone, Gordon, Krosnoff, Fangio, Lawson, Salazar, Moreno, Jourdain, and Jones. Other cars, of course, out of the race. So we're still under yellow here. We do expect to be able to go back to green very shortly as they clear the cars off the track. We'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
It's equal parts sweat and steel, with ice thrown in for blood. It's margins of air measured in hundredths of an inch. It's decisions made in the split of a second. And pain endured for the length of a day. And at the finish, they're either toasting victory or getting set to do it all over again next week. It's auto racing, the way we do it on the Miller team.
ABC Sunday.
America is morally bankrupt.
When a hate group takes control, it's a super race against time.
What the?
Lois and Clark, ABC Sunday.
ABC Tuesday. It's the episode that brought America home.
I don't want to die, Dad.
Critics hailed it as touching and highly emotional.
I know you're scared. I know how you feel.
A superb depiction of the loving bonds that hold families together.
I'm not letting anything happen to you.
And an impressive outing for TV's most popular and best family comedy. Home Improvement, followed by Coach, ABC Tuesday.
This is a serious commitment.
I know, Dad.
Well, what about the others?
They don't compare.
There's more to consider than just beauty.
I know.
There's inner qualities like warmth and strength.
I know.
And you'll have stormy days, too.
I've thought about all that, Dad.
Well, for 30 years, your mother and I have loved our Pella windows, and I know you'll be happy with yours.
Thanks, Dad.
Get your free idea booklet on Pella's remarkable shades between the glass. Call 800-64-PELLA.
Are you selling your home? Are you about to enter into a sales contract? Stop! Does your buyer have a first funding mortgage banker's pre-approval certificate? If yes, continue. If no, simply have your buyer call 1-800-253-FUND. The pre-approval certificate is absolutely free of charge and there is no obligation to your buyer. 800-253-FUND.
Watch Channel 7 Eyewitness News, the tri-state area's news leader.
Just gone back to green flag racing. You've only missed about a quarter of a lap, and Michael Andretti surged into the lead. That two-row restart worked absolutely perfect. Very, very nice job. The 5 cars that were on the lead lap moved to the inside. Now you see Michael Andretti, Al Unser Jr., and Emerson Fittipaldi battling 1, 2, and 3. And Paul Tracy's in 4th place, coming up on Emerson.
The only person who got hurt there was Greg Moore. One of the lap cars moved down, got in between. He lost touch to that group of 4 cars right there.
But as far as the front 4 are concerned, it did exactly what they hoped. It's kept everybody together. Emerson Fittipaldi being challenged by Tracy now. You saw him move to the outside on the front stretch. They're on the back. .150 laps complete. 50 miles to go.
Well, and look at Al Jr. He's all over Michael. He's trying to find a way back around that.
Little Al saw Michael use the high lane earlier. Maybe he thinks he can use it. He was testing it in the morning's warm-up session. Little Al to the outside. Can he hold on through this corner?
Oh, he's going to get up there.
It may work. No, Michael comes out across in front of him. Battle for the lead continues. Andretti leads across the track. Little Al, boy, gets him down on the inside. What a move.
What a great move. And that was set up by going off there high off the 4. And he was able to stay in the throttle and get a run at him. Got a little draft, dove down the inside. What a great move.
It never ceases to amaze me how far ahead you have to look on an oval to make a pass, and how much of the strategy you have to play, and the feints and the moves back and forth.
And really, Paul, also how much is set up. What you can't see and the folks at home can't see is how much is set up by being able to stay in that throttle. You can't see that, but when he had that run off, he probably got on that throttle just a little earlier than Michael.
So it's Al, Michael, and there is Emerson Fittipaldi running in 3rd. Paul Tracy, the 4th place car. Greg Moore got separated on that restart. He's back a bit, but they are still those 5 on the leader lap. There is Greg Moore. Still trying to chase down, but he's only about 3 seconds behind the leader, so it's not so far back. How do we know things like 3 seconds behind the leader? Well, fortunately, we have the EDS scoring system here, and we have a very, very special screen that helps us keep track on the television. The teams have another screen that helps them keep track. So we thank EDS once again.
And look how little Al is just pulled away from Michael. He's jumped out there. Look at that. He's, what, 20 car lengths in front?
Well, here's something, Danny. Take a look at the front wing on Al's car. Right side there. Race control has been watching that because they say it's been flapping, and they're concerned about it. Wings aren't supposed to flap, are they?
Well, they're not supposed to flap, but there could be a little bit of vibration in there. See, it's just vibrating a little bit under braking. I don't see that as a problem, but that's probably one of the observers making just a call. They want to be safe.
Gary Gerald, you can update that?
Just ask Richard Buck and Roger Penske what's with the right